Welcome to the Advanced Learning training video on creating groups and blocks on the timetable curriculum. To begin, click on the Curriculum by Year button on the front panel of the Scheduler program. This will bring up the Curriculum by Year window. The first step is to tell it which course and year we want to create groups for. So we select the course and year from the drop-down menus up at the top. In this case, we'll be creating events for the first year timetable. So we select Junior Certificate Year 1. We can see that right now the first years have a blank curriculum. So we're going to create a group, which is a bunch of single events that will occur independently of each other throughout the week, and a block, which means that the events for 1A will happen at the same time as the events for 1B, the two classes we're going to create the block for, throughout the week. So, to create a group for the class 1A, we're going to create a maths group. So click on the cell under 1A in the core section, right click and select Create Group. This will bring up the dialog box where we enter the information on the timetable events that we're going to create. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to enter the occurrences up here. If we type in 5 up here, then this group will occur 5 times throughout the week. The multiples box defines the breakdown of the group. So we can see that there are 5 single ones here in the multiples box. This means that this group will have 5 single events that will occur throughout the week. Next, we enter the information about the events. So the first thing we enter is the subject data. So subject data is automatically selected. We simply select the subject we want to enter from the drop-down box. You can manually find the subject, or if you know the subject number, you can type it in this case 3 for mathematics, to quickly find the subject. Click it and click New, and that creates a data item for maths on the group. The next thing to do is to select the teacher. So change data type to teacher data and find the teacher you want to assign to all the events. Select her, click New. So now we have the class, the subject and the teacher in, which is all the information we're going to put in for the moment. Once you have all that in, click on OK. And that creates a group, a maths group for the first years that will occur 5 times throughout the week, and they'll all be single events. You can see the breakdown down here in the bottom panel. So that's a group for one class. Now we're going to create a block for classes 1A and 1B. As mentioned, the events for these will occur at the same time as each other for both classes throughout the week. So to start, we select the cells under both classes. So I click the cell under 1A, hold down Control, and click the cell under 1B. Next, I right click, and this time select Create Multiple Groups. Again, this brings us to a window where we enter the information about the block. So this time we're going to enter an occurrences of 4, and we're going to change one of the 1s to a 2. So this means that we're going to have a double and 3 singles occurring throughout the week for this block. From here we again enter the information about the timetable events. In this case we're going to enter the subject data. It's going to be an Irish block, so we're just going to choose the subject of Irish and click New. Now in this case we're not actually going to assign a teacher straight away, as I want to assign a different teacher to each class. We can't have the same teacher teaching both classes at the same time after all. So with the subject in and the occurrences and the multiples in, we're going to click OK, and from here we need to give the block its code. As a first year Irish block, I'm going to call it 1 Irish. You can also give it a name if you so choose. I'm going to give it the same name as the code. The code is the most important thing here. Each block must have one. The name is optional, however. Click OK. And we can see that has created 2 Irish groups under the block section, which means they are linked as a block. So from here on, all that remains is to assign a teacher to each one. We can assign a teacher to each individual class in the block by double-clicking on the group here and selecting the teacher. It will default to the teacher data if none is selected. So for the first one we're going to assign Ashlyn Gray. We can see her name appears there. And 1B's classes will be handled by Claire Ford. and now we click OK. This assigns a teacher to both of the classes in the block, which means we now have an Irish block created for the classes 1A and 1B. This concludes the training video. Thank you for watching.